Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump's new idea for a golden visa. Let's take a little look at what he's saying. He plans to offer a gold card, and this is from the AP story that came out just this morning, with a path to citizenship for $5 million US. It's going to replace a 35-year-old visa for investors called the EB-5 visa, which was started in 1990. And what they're saying, or what Trump said in the Oval Office, is that there'll be wealthy people, they'll be successful, they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. And we think it's going to be extremely successful. I don't think so. Okay, $5 million, okay? For a Russian oligarch, for some other person with maybe some shady dealings, this isn't interesting. You have to imagine, first of all the other countries where they could go. And then you have to also think they're going to pay $5 million one time to get in. And after that, what taxes? We don't have a wealth tax in the United States as far as I know, okay? Countries like Spain or other places do. Portugal, there's some limits and things there. Why would Donald Trump think that they're going to make taxes off of a one-time payment? If somebody's coming to hide their money, okay, and they don't make any interest off it, and this is a perfectly legitimate, what are we? Are we going to become a Caribbean tax haven where people actually don't pay taxes on their money? I mean, I've seen it firsthand in Europe here. It's not even a novel idea. When you hear him talk about it and you see some of the right-wing news stations saying, oh, he came up with this incredible new idea, it's never been done before. Nonsense. We've talked about digital nomad visas on this channel in the past and easy ways for younger people or people without money or retirees, non-lucrative visas, where you only have to prove a couple of $1,000 of income per month. Why would you want to take $5 million and put it somewhere where you may have to pay taxes on it? No. So here, if we look at the chart, we see the United States is now saying $5 million. That's actually the highest amount for a golden visa. Okay. Trump will say, well, it's America, it's the United States, it's the best place to come. It's an argument. You can make that argument, but I don't see it. A Russian oligarch or some other very wealthy person doesn't want to go that far. They have roots in Russia, contacts in Europe already established. As far as the jet set goes, there are not a lot of really, really wealthy people who say, I want a jet set in the Great Lakes. I want a jet set in Tampa. I love, traveling in the United States. I think it's great. I'm from New York. I love, the U.S. is a place to travel. Utah is my favorite place in the whole world for visiting, for nature and all that stuff. But it's not Ibiza, It's not the Amalfi Coast. It's not Monte Carlo. So why do it? Okay, and if he really thinks he's going to make a lot of money, you have to actually look at this to say, okay, if you pay $5 million and 50,000 people end up doing it, which is possible, it's a stretch, but it's possible, that would bring in $250 billion once. Sounds like a lot of money. It's not really a lot of money. If you break it down over, let's say, some 45-year-old, very, very wealthy person comes in and he drops the $5 million, okay? You've got $250 billion one time. If that 45-year-old lives 25 years more, we would figure out a minimum, that comes out to $200,000 per year. And it doesn't guarantee that he's going to invest money and start a company. He might just come here and say, I'm putting $10 million in an account. I don't even care if it earns money. I'm just going to park it, right? Because that's what some very, very wealthy people do. I get to live somewhere where I might not otherwise get to live, and I'm going to park the money. Because last I checked, like I said, taxes aren't going to be earned by the US government on people who are just parking money in an account that's making 0.0001% interest these days. I don't know that these very, very rich people are going to come to the States to get CDs that pay 3 or 4%. I don't think they care that much about that. If you have that much, you're looking for investments that will get you 10, 20, 30%, right? And those are just few and far between, so I just don't see it happening. So the net tax for me on parked money from very wealthy people is zero. I just don't see the value. So let's go back again and look a little bit at other countries that are doing this. Austria, I know because I spend time there, 2 million to 10 million. And I can tell you, there are lots and lots of very wealthy Russian people here in Vienna. They buy a beautiful apartment for a couple of million euros, and they have a path to citizenship through that investment. And when everything's calmed down in Russia, they can be back in Moscow in an hour on a flight, hour and a half, whatever it is. You know, the UK is doing it for £2 million, so 2.5 million dollars. Singapore is under 2 million. Now, Singapore is not everybody's cup of tea. I happen to love it. I was there last August. I thought it was absolutely amazing. It's too humid. It's very small. It doesn't have the beaches of a tropical paradise that you might think. But hey, it's a really cool place, and the main language spoken is English, and you can live very comfortably. Great healthcare system. All that stuff's going on. Safe, clean, whatever you want to say. Singapore is definitely top tier in that regard. Switzerland, come on. Everybody loves Switzerland. Everybody's always known about Swiss banks and all that kind of good stuff, right? So Switzerland's always been an option, and their thing starts at 150,000, between 150,000 and $1 million for their golden visa package. Now, the UAE, whether it's Dubai or Abu Dhabi, they have $500,000, right? And if you live, I think in Dubai, I don't think there's any income tax in Dubai. So again, it's a much better solution. Now, maybe you don't want to be in Dubai when it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 plus C in the summer, but if you're this wealthy, you are going to have several places to stay, and you're going to look for better places to stay than moving to the US, okay? Now, Ireland is up there at $1 million euros. Yeah, Ireland's great, but you know, the weather, I don't know. I don't know how many people are rushing to Ireland. It depends on the taxes, and I think there's some tax sheltering, but maybe not that much. Monaco, this is where most really, really wealthy people hang out. It's the coolest. They've got the Formula One Grand Prix. They've got the yacht, harbor there. Everybody who's anybody in the world of big money is there. Portugal, $500,000. That just went up. It was like 350 or 250 until recently. Spain is $500,000. But with Spain, you have to be a little careful because they have wealth tax. You can just remember what happened with Shakira recently, where she stayed in Spain more than 183 days in 1 year, and all the money that she earned that year ended up being taxable in Spain, and they took her to court. I mean, sure, it's a lot of money when you have 18, what was it? 15 million was her fine in the end, 15 million euros, because she made 30 million that year. And Spain says, yeah, you're a resident, you're 183 days, you're paying taxes on that. So Spain for very wealthy people. Now, I've been to Valencia recently. I've also seen an influx of Eastern European, particularly Russian money there. So that's an interesting shift, because generally it wasn't Spain until the war started 3 years ago. And then you keep going. We have Greece at 400,000, Turkey. I mean, Istanbul is incredibly cool. I mean, the Greek islands, everybody knows that these are really great places to hang out, except Santorini right now, as you've seen from my other videos recently, the earthquakes that have been going on. Even though this week they announced people are starting to come back because the earthquakes have tailed off a bit, but they're still not quite sure about the summer season. Could be a really big economic hit for Santorini. Yeah, Cyprus. Cyprus is beautiful, 300,000. Italy, only 250,000. Really, really interesting there too, because with their kind of diminishing population a little bit. They're not having enough children. Small towns are starting to almost disappear. A lot of empty real estate, a lot of cheap real estate. Everybody has read these stories about the €1 houses. You want to invest money? Buy a town in Italy for 5 million, okay? You can buy the town and rebuild the whole thing and it'd be your town. I'll call it San Antonio. You're going to have better options with your money than in the States. You could just start your own town. So other places here, Malta's long been known as a tax-free haven, and they're starting at 150,000, and I don't even think you have to live there. I'm going to put the link to some of the articles that I've been researching on this topic below so that you get a really good sense of what's possible in each country. Latvia, interesting. I hadn't thought about that much, but for 50,000, you have to see what these additional tax payments that they're talking about, what they add up to. If you like the South Pacific, Vanuatu, 130,000. You contribute to a government fund. That sounds interesting. Provide citizenship. And then you have several places in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, 100,000 each. So there are lots and lots of opportunities here. So when Trump said this is going to be the greatest thing, and trying to do away with fraud and nonsense that he says characterizes the EB-5 programs, I just don't see it. I don't see this as a real option for generating money, because even if people come, like I said, it's one time. And like I said, if they park money and they're not earning money, interest on it, then they're not going to bring in any tax revenue for the U.S. So that's my take on this whole thing with the U.S. And Trump offering a golden card for residency, and I just don't think it has much weight to it. So we'll see what happens as he maybe signs another executive order or does something in the next few days to make this a reality. But I think it's hot air right now, and I don't think people are going to go that far to the States and not live inside some kind of chic, cool vacation place just because Trump is offering a gold card visa. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.